Hey everybody, I just wanted to jump on real quick and give a little Pampering Patrol team training minute tour 3. Um, I've been asked a lot about events and doing them with another consultant, like another person of your team, and that is an awesome way to get into some of the larger events with the higher, like per day booth fees. So I just wanted to go over some of the ways that I've found that it's easiest to get through there with everything being real easy peasy and straight and wonderful. So obviously the first thing you're going to do is once you find an event you want to do, let's say the booth fee is $100 or $200, you find a consultant wants to go in on it with you and you split it 50-50 on the booth fee straight off the bat. So then that's all taken care of. Then get with your consultant teammate person and select a predetermined amount of inventory you'd like to bring. You know, that can be $200 each, $300 each, $600 each, whatever you think, depending on the history of the show, the traffic the show is expecting, if you've been there before, if you're expecting repeat customers to come through, just whatever that amount happens to be, pick it, and then you each bring, you can decide, okay, well, we want to have big fat yummy hand creams, chunk bars, snarky bars, skin sticks, lip scrubs. Those are kind of my go-tos. You pick out those products you want to focus on, and then each bring the same dollar amount. It doesn't have to be like, okay, well, you bring 2 of these and I'll bring 2 of these. No, just same dollar amount. Make sure you're on the same page. So that you have a good variety of what you are wanting to be focused on. I also have it set up when we do shows together is one person's testers will be out. One person will have the change, the change bag with all your dimes and nickels and quarters and dollar bills and fives and all that. So one person brings a change bag, one person has all their testers, and one person has their Square or Go payment or whatever card reader you're using. So you just have those one point of sale areas. It's easier to keep track of that way than, well, you had $50 go through your Square and I had $100 go through mine, and there's not all that. Just one nice itemized list of this is what happened that day. So that's how you get set up for it. As the event is going on, as your leads are coming in, I never have just like enter my drawing slips in the bucket sitting there. I always have the bucket behind my display. So once they fill out a slip, they have to hand it to me so I can take a quick peek. And if they maybe have like played it cool and marked the business opportunity, I can be like, oh, awesome. Here, let me send you home with this recruiting packet. You don't call it a recruiting packet, but this awesome information packet. You have lots of samples in there and information. Then I'll get back in touch with you. So anyway, then you have them hand it to you so you can take a little peek. Or hey, maybe they want to have a spa night. Then you can say, oh, you know what? I'm doing a special today. If you book right now, I will give you a free skin stick at your party, or whatever your little special happens to be. But when you're doing it with another consultant, that's a great opportunity to, as they're walking away or looking at something, you can write your initials on that little lead slip and then put it in the bucket. So you don't have to have a your bucket, my bucket, but you can have this community bucket. And if it's somebody that you specifically talk to, like you were one-on-one talking with this person, initial that slip and put it in the bucket. At the end of your event, you've had a wonderful day and talked to all these fabulous people. You will take that bucket of leads that you have and split them up by initial first, obviously. I take mine, you take yours, and then there's inevitably some leftovers that didn't get initialed because they were just somebody who walked up and said, oh, here, and kept on trucking. But those ones you'll go through and I always separate them like these are the unmarked party leads, unmarked recruit leads, and just unmarked random information folks. So then okay, there's 4 party leads, so fan them out. You grab 2, I'll keep 2. So break them up evenly like that, and same with the rest of them. Also, you split any cash sales over and beyond what the change amount was. That's another important note. When somebody does bring a change bag, write down how much change is in there to begin with. It's an important thing. But you can pull out if there was $50 in change and you have $150, not that it's ever even like that, but for the sake of explanation. Then you have $100 obviously to split. So 50 for you, 50 for me. Good to go. You'll also split all the credit card purchases through the Square, or I use GoPayment personally, but you can run a detail report and it'll say, oh, this many credit card sales, this many cash sales, and then whoever Square it is, let's say you had $200 of credit card sales and we were using my Square. I can either write you a check for $100 so that I'm keeping 100 and you're getting 100, or give you $100 cash or whatever. Make sure you keep receipts for this stuff and write it down. Always write everything down. So then the credit card sales and the cash sales are split, the leads are split, and now you're left with your stock leftovers. So how we, like Jenny and I, have done it is, let's say there's, I don't know, 4 big fat yummy hand creams. So you each take 2 of the big fat yummy hand creams. You take whatever flavor or scent that you'd prefer. Or, oh, I already have a bunch of that, so would you mind if I take that? Break it up. So 2 for you, 2 for me, split a chunk. And if there was 5 chunks left, you each take 2 and then set 1 aside. And then at the end of breaking up, oh, there's 2 scrubs, so 1 for each of us. Or there's 3 body butters, so 1 for each of us, and then 1 for the randoms. Once you get done and you have this little pile of randoms left, you're like, oh, well, here's an $18 rubby scrubby and a chunk bar and a hand cream. Would you rather have the 1 of these and 2 of these? So the dollar amounts stay equal. You don't necessarily go home with the exact product you brought. That's okay. The dollar amounts will be the same. Everything will be fine. I promise. And maybe you're like, oh, I don't have one of those. I wish I could have that. Well, sure, here you go. And then you can take this one. So just break it up evenly as you can. And then everything has been split. The fees, the stock brought, the leads, the money you brought in, and then the stock left over. It all gets broke down separately. The one person can just take all their testers back to their bag, and it's not like, oh, well, I thought that one was mine. No, I don't want, just keep it easy. Keep it simple, make it fun, and you can get into a lot more awesome opportunities when you are able to share with somebody else. You can't maybe do a $400 a weekend booth by yourself, but get a couple people involved and then you're good. The same idea works if you're going to have 3 or 4 people, on an event. Obviously, 2's easiest, but I understand there's times when you need more. If that was like a 3 or 4 person thing, I would have everybody come together at the beginning, do the same. I'll bring 300, you bring 300, you bring 300. Then everybody works their shifts or whatever and break it down all the same at the end. Not like, well, I sold more during my shift than you did. No, if you're going to do it together, you're together. That's how it works. You can't control the traffic flow. But anyway, so that's kind of how we break down events when there's multiple consultants on a team working together to do it. If you have any questions, drop them down below and I'm happy to answer them. Or if you want any other topics covered, make a note and I'll put it on my list. So there's your little team training few minutes. Sorry, get a little wordy sometimes. And have a good night, y'all.